Motorcycles aren't just machines. They're a lifestyle, a culture, and a passion for millions across the globe. Riders develop emotional connections with brands that stand for freedom, adventure, and a rebellious spirit. But the motorcycle world is shifting fast. Sales figures, changing demographics, environmental regulations, and shifting consumer behaviors are shaking up the industry like never before. In today's video, we're digging deep into the state of the motorcycle market and examining 6 iconic or once promising brands that are now teetering on the edge of collapse. Some are struggling to adapt, others are victims of poor decisions, and a few have simply been outpaced by innovation and changing times. Whether you're a die-hard rider or just a fan of two-wheeled engineering, you'll want to hear which companies could be riding off into the sunset for good. Stay tuned as we break it all down, analyze what went wrong, and look at whether these brands can make a comeback or if it's already too late. The motorcycle industry is going through a transformation. Worldwide, the shift toward electric mobility, stricter emissions regulations, and an aging rider population have all contributed to declining sales in traditional gas-powered motorcycles. In contrast, e-scooters and electric bikes are booming, especially in urban environments. Big motorcycle markets like India and Southeast Asia still show strength, but demand in North America and Europe is softening. Many legacy brands now face a dilemma: adapt or die. Even as premium brands push high-tech bikes, the entry-level and mid-range segments, the ones that sustain long-term growth, are facing stiff competition from newer players. Against this backdrop, several brands are finding themselves increasingly irrelevant, unable to pivot fast enough. Number 6. Benelli. Benelli is a brand with deep roots in motorcycle history. Founded in Italy in 1911, it was once a symbol of craftsmanship, racing pedigree, and engineering flair. Today, however, Benelli stands at a crossroads, struggling to define what it really is. After being acquired by China's Qianjiang Group in 2005, the brand has undergone a major transformation, and not necessarily for the better. While Qianjiang's ownership brought stability and the capability for mass production, it also diluted Benelli's identity. On paper, Benelli still promotes its Italian heritage. The bikes wear the Italian badge, and the marketing still references Pesaro, the brand's spiritual home. But in reality, the bikes are designed and manufactured in China, using Qianjiang's production lines and engineering frameworks. This disconnect has become a point of contention among motorcycle enthusiasts. Loyal fans find it hard to reconcile Benelli's legacy with its current product lineup, which often feels more like rebadged Chinese motorcycles than authentic Italian machines. This identity crisis is further complicated by inconsistent strategy. In some markets, Benelli competes aggressively on price, targeting entry-level riders. In others, it aims for a premium image without the product backing to justify it. The result is confusion and mixed reception. Enthusiasts question the reliability and quality of the bikes, while newcomers are unsure what the brand actually stands for. Even worse, after-sales service has been hit or miss, depending heavily on local distributors. Sales, unsurprisingly, have plateaued. Benelli has introduced several models with modern styling and decent specs, but few truly innovate or lead their segments. The brand's foray into electric motorcycles has been mostly talk, with little concrete action. In a market that's rapidly shifting toward electrification, this hesitation could prove fatal. Benelli has a recognizable name, which is a significant asset. But brand equity alone won't carry it forward. To regain relevance, Benelli needs a focused vision. Either fully embrace its new identity as a global brand with Chinese efficiency, or make a genuine effort to return to Italian roots with more original engineering and distinctive designs. Right now, it's stuck in the middle, neither fully Italian nor confidently Chinese. Without that clarity, Benelli risks becoming another legacy name lost to history, remembered more for what it once was than what it could be. Number 5. Norton Motorcycles. Norton Motorcycles holds a mythical place in motorcycling history. Established in 1898 and gaining prominence through racing legends and iconic models like the Commando and Dominator, Norton has long been seen as a crown jewel of British engineering. Yet despite that heritage, the modern Norton story has been defined by turmoil, not triumph. In recent decades, Norton has faced a series of setbacks: financial instability, legal controversies, and broken promises. Perhaps the most damaging chapter came under the ownership of Stuart Garner, whose management led to accusations of pension fraud and a near collapse of the company. When India's TVS Motor Company acquired Norton in 2020, it was seen as a much-needed rescue mission. TVS had the financial muscle and manufacturing experience to revive the brand. But progress since then has been frustratingly slow. To TVS's credit, they've taken steps to rebuild the brand from the ground up, reinvesting in engineering, setting up a state-of-the-art facility in Solihull, and promising high-quality manufacturing standards. But Norton's output remains extremely limited. The V4SV Superbike, while impressive on paper, is niche and expensive. Other models, like the Commando 961, cater more to collectors than daily riders. And that's part of the issue. Norton seems stuck in a boutique mindset. In today's market, nostalgia isn't enough. Consumers want performance, value, and future readiness. That includes electric models, rider assist tech, and strong dealer networks, areas where Norton has yet to make meaningful progress. The EV revolution is well underway, and Norton's silence in this space is deafening. Meanwhile, rivals like Triumph and Royal Enfield are diversifying their portfolios and entering new markets aggressively. Another major hurdle is trust. While TVS is working to clean up Norton's image, the brand is still battling skepticism from both investors and consumers. For many, the memories of past mismanagement remain too fresh. Norton must do more than just release a few high-priced motorcycles. It needs to earn back the motorcycling community's trust by being transparent, reliable, and future-focused. If Norton wants to be more than just a name from the past, it must pivot soon. The window for comeback stories in the motorcycle world is narrow. With a legacy as rich as Norton's, the brand deserves better than to fade away in limited production runs and missed opportunities. It's time to stop stalling and start building for the next century, not just rehashing the last one. Number 4. Hero MotoCorp. Hero MotoCorp, the world's largest two-wheeler manufacturer by volume, is an undeniable titan in the industry. Dominating the Indian market for decades, it has built a vast network of dealerships, service centers, and loyal customers. But sheer size, as impressive as it may be, doesn't guarantee future success. In fact, Hero's current trajectory raises serious questions. Is it adapting to the times, or is it simply coasting on legacy? India's two-wheeler market is evolving rapidly. Urban consumers are shifting toward electric mobility. Younger riders crave tech-forward and stylish machines, and premium segments are expanding. Hero, however, seems stuck in the past. Its bread and butter, commuter motorcycles like the Splendor and HF Deluxe, continue to sell in decent numbers, but the writing is on the wall. That segment is shrinking in profitability and prestige, while upstarts like Ola Electric and Ather are making serious inroads with EVs that appeal to the next generation of riders. Hero's response to the electric revolution has been tepid. The launch of its Vida electric scooter brand was delayed and lacked the impact needed to counter competition. While Ola launched sleek scooters with connected features and built its own battery ecosystem, Hero's electric lineup feels half-hearted and reactive. Despite its access to capital, infrastructure, and engineering resources, Hero's innovation pipeline is slow, and its vision for EV leadership is fuzzy at best. Internationally, Hero's attempts to go global have mostly fizzled. Its previous partnership with Eric Buell Racing promised an entry into performance biking and the American market, but that venture collapsed. Current overseas efforts lack coordination and brand recognition. While Japanese and European rivals have cultivated strong reputations globally, Hero still struggles to define what it stands for outside India. And let's not forget Hero's failed attempts at breaking into the premium motorcycle segment. Despite multiple tries, including collaborations and new platforms, it hasn't produced a standout product that competes seriously with offerings from Royal Enfield, Bajaj, or TVS. Riders seeking performance or lifestyle-oriented machines simply don't think of Hero. The danger here isn't a sudden collapse. Hero is far too entrenched for that. But the bigger risk is stagnation. Hero may become a zombie brand, massive and present, but lacking relevance or influence in shaping the future of motorcycling. Unless it picks up the pace on EVs, rethinks its premium strategy, and defines a compelling global identity, Hero MotoCorp may find itself overshadowed by more agile and forward-thinking competitors. Number 3. Eric Buell Racing, EBR. Eric Buell Racing, or EBR, is a brand that motorcycle enthusiasts know well, but often with a mix of admiration and frustration. Born out of Eric Buell's relentless pursuit of innovation and racing performance, EBR has always had a unique voice in the motorcycling world. Unfortunately, that voice has been increasingly drowned out by financial instability, inconsistent leadership, and a failure to align with mainstream market trends. At its core, EBR was a passion project. Eric Buell himself was a visionary engineer, formerly with Harley-Davidson, who aimed to push the boundaries of sport bike design. His bikes featured radical elements, like fuel-in-frame architecture and rim-mounted disc brakes, that were both admired and questioned. These machines weren't for everyone, but they had a dedicated fan base. Yet from the start, EBR struggled with scale and sustainability. After Harley-Davidson shut down the original Buell Motorcycle Company, Eric revived the brand as EBR. Despite technical brilliance, the company couldn't attract steady investment or maintain production volumes. Its short-lived partnership with Hero MotoCorp offered a glimmer of hope, but that alliance fell apart as quickly as it began, leaving EBR once again searching for lifelines. In recent years, the company has operated in survival mode. Production is limited to small batches of hand-built sport bikes. These are sold mostly to collectors or hardcore fans, with the brand occasionally resurfacing in crowdfunding campaigns or small bike shows. While the legacy is alive, it's clearly on life support. And here's the problem. The motorcycle market has moved on. Today's riders value not just innovation, but also reliability, service networks, connectivity, and, increasingly, sustainability. Electric mobility is reshaping the industry. While companies like Zero, Energica, and even mainstream brands are investing in electric platforms, EBR is still anchored to high-performance internal combustion machines with minimal mainstream appeal. Its niche is shrinking fast. The sad truth is that boutique brands like EBR rarely survive in isolation anymore. Without a strong parent company, robust funding, and a clear vision, they can't compete. Unless a major manufacturer steps in to acquire and revive EBR with serious R&D and marketing support, the brand will likely remain in obscurity. What EBR represents is important: passion, ingenuity, and a refusal to conform. But the motorcycle industry is unforgiving, and sentiment alone doesn't keep a brand alive. Eric Buell. Racing may not be dead, but without a bold and well-funded reinvention, it's destined to remain a footnote in motorcycling history rather than a force in its future. Number 2. SWM Motorcycles. SWM Motorcycles is a name that once held a niche but respected position in the world of off-road racing. Born in Italy in the 1970s, SWM built a reputation for durable, lightweight enduro and trials machines that catered to serious riders. After going dormant in the 1980s, the brand was revived in 2014 with backing from China's Shinarei Group, generating buzz in the adventure and retro segments. Unfortunately, that excitement has since faded, and today, SWM feels more like a forgotten relic than a competitive player. When it made its comeback, SWM leaned heavily on classic styling and tried to hit the sweet spot between affordability and heritage. Models like the Super Dual, Gran Milano, and RS series seemed like clever alternatives to more expensive European or Japanese offerings. But while the bikes looked promising on paper, they were plagued by inconsistent quality and an unreliable global support system. In regions like Europe and Australia, initial reception was warm, but as owners began facing parts shortages and spotty customer service, enthusiasm quickly turned to frustration. The brand's biggest challenge has been defining its identity in a crowded and fast-evolving market. Is SWM a rugged adventure brand, a retro-inspired urban choice, a low-cost alternative to KTM or Honda? The truth is, it's tried to be all of the above and ended up being none of them convincingly. There's been a clear lack of strategic focus, which has hurt brand loyalty and made it difficult to grow a solid rider community. On top of that, SWM hasn't kept up with industry trends. While competitors are doubling down on electric mobility, digital connectivity, and smart features, lineup still revolves around older platforms and minimal updates. With little evidence of serious investment in electric or hybrid technology, the company risks becoming irrelevant in a future that's fast becoming electric first. Distribution has also been a major Achilles' heel. In key markets like North America and large parts of Europe, SWM's availability is limited or non-existent. Dealers are few and far between, and even where the bikes are available, after-sales support is unreliable. Without a robust dealer network, it's difficult to build trust, especially with budget-conscious buyers who can't afford breakdowns and delays. Unless SWM finds a strategic partner or is acquired by a larger, tech-forward brand, it may quietly vanish from the industry. It's a shame, considering the brand's rich heritage and early promise. But in today's motorcycle world, nostalgia only takes you so far if it's not backed by innovation, clarity, and strong execution. Number 1. Motorcycles. Motorcycles, short for United Motors, positioned itself as an emerging American motorcycle brand with global ambitions. It promised affordable cruisers with flashy styling and claimed to offer American muscle on a budget. On the surface, it was a compelling pitch, especially in developing markets where aspirational products at lower price points are in high demand. But beneath that surface lay a shaky foundation of rebadged Chinese bikes, limited R&D, and poor operational execution. Today, stands as a cautionary tale of overpromising and under-delivering in the motorcycle industry. UM's strategy was to tap into the cruiser niche in emerging markets by offering low-displacement, American-styled motorcycles that looked the part but were built in Chinese and Indian factories. While there's nothing inherently wrong with outsourcing production, UM's problem was quality control and support. The bikes often failed to meet expectations in reliability and refinement. And worse, when issues arose, the after-sales service infrastructure was woefully inadequate. One of UM's most ambitious moves was its entry into the Indian market, a motorcycle battleground filled with tough competitors like Royal Enfield, Bajaj, and TVS. partnered with Lohia Auto and launched a series of 200-300cc cruisers with a lot of marketing hype. But real-world performance and durability issues quickly soured public opinion. Customers faced frequent breakdowns, lack of spare parts, and a service network that was thin and unresponsive. Within a few years, Lohia exited the Indian market in near silence, leaving behind a trail of disappointed buyers and shuttered dealerships. Elsewhere, the brand hasn't fared much better. In Latin America, where it once had decent visibility, UM's presence is declining as better-built alternatives from Japanese and even Chinese manufacturers have gained market share. In the US, its claim to being an American company has always been tenuous, mostly relying on branding rather than actual production or development in the States. Perhaps the biggest issue is UM's complete absence from the innovation race. While the motorcycle industry is pushing toward electrification, smart features, and connected riding experiences, hasn't shown any serious commitment to these trends. There are no credible EV plans, no investment in digital platforms, and no attempt to modernize its aging lineup. UM's dream of being a global player was built more on branding than on product strength or strategic depth. Without major changes, investment, or a radical pivot toward innovation, is unlikely to survive in the long term. It may linger in a few markets for now, but the brand's trajectory points toward quiet disappearance rather than global success. So, there you have it. 6 motorcycle brands that are facing some of the toughest challenges in their history. Whether it's outdated strategies, poor execution, or just bad timing, each one is at a crossroads. What do you think? Can these companies turn things around, or are they doomed to fade away? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the motorcycle industry's shifting landscape, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more in-depth content, and ring that notification bell so you never miss an update. Ride safe, and we'll see you in the next video.